So this content of this meeting is being sent to a top party. Click OK.
We'll be starting shortly, Mr. Agioso. So we should just begin.
It's being sent to a top party. Click OK. Yes, I've done that, sir.
We'll be starting shortly, Mr. Agioso.
Okay, sir. Guys, when I give I don't want them to be see I'm doing.
Okay, yes, okay.
Okay. Ya zona.
Kini.
No, ikadeka sana siona baya pia, sino. No baya pia. Click just click bring off in data now. I think I distracting na kwani. Yes.
But can I correct this one?
Don't want distraction. The process is on now.
No noise, please. Let's start, please.
Okay.
Just a moment, as I record, then we start. Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me formally welcome you to this interview session. Okay, so let me formally welcome you to the program Politics Hour.
Click OK for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm already viewing me now, bros. I don't need to be doing things now.
Please. So,
Doesn't matter.
let me formally welcome you to this interview session. This is the program with the people. Your host, Kevin Jacob. And on this show, we'll be engaging with Nigeria's future leaders and delving into their visions, their policies, and plans for the country, from governance to economy, and from security to social welfare. We'll be exploring critical issues that shape our nation's progress. And tonight, we are going to be having an exciting political aspirant who will share his insights and aspirations with us. So let's dive into this conversation quickly. Today we're having, let me quickly get, we're having Mr. GYOH EMMANUEL SAMBARI. I hope I got that right, Honorable. Are you there?
Thank you, sir. Good
Mr.
morning.
GYOH, I hope I got that right. Okay, so he is contesting for the position of House of Representative. He's contesting for the seat of House of Representative for Kokoma, Kefi, and Karu Federal Constituency in Nasarawa State. You are welcome, sir. So let's quickly go.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, okay, good. So let's quickly go into the item for today. Let's go into the questions I have for you. Let's go into your personal and political background. Can you share a brief background about yourself, your education, and why you went, and why you are going into politics?
Thank you very much. Good morning, Mr. Kelvin, and due process. I really appreciate for this very opportunity to be able to share my views and give you the background of myself. I am Honorable EMMANUEL SAMBARI from Kokona local government, aspiring to be a RES member, representing the good people of Kokona, Kefi, and Karo Federal Constituency, count 2027 in the general election. My brief background and my education's qualification. I was born in the month of November 29, 1984, into the family of SAMBARI in Tataramada community in Kokona local government, Garaku ward. I began my primary school in 1993, graduated in 1998, and pursued my secondary education and completing to graduating in 2012, even though some delay. I pursued my education academy, high institution, tertiary institution in Plateau State Polytechnic, where I obtained a national diploma in accountancy and graduated in 2016. I gained admission into University of Jos, Plateau State, Nigeria, to study actuarial science through direct entry system. Though graduating in 2019, and because of the delay of COVID-19, I was graduating in 2021 with the BSc Actuarial Science. Currently, I am doing my postgraduate studies, doing my master's at the University of Jos, studying the same course, Actuarial Science. I'm a civil servant with the Federal Ministry of Environment, Forestry Research Institute of Nigeria, and Federal College of Forestry, Jos, accountant in profession. So my decision to aspire to become member of the House of Representatives, count 2027, is a passion to serve the people of my constituency for the eruptive kind of leadership we have in the decades, where our suggestions, our inputs, our innovative ideas are not implemented. And so our people are left behind. And that is why we're answering the clarion call to serve the people of my constituency, count 2027, by the grace of God. This is my brief biography, sir.
All right, thank you, Mr. Gyoso. I think that was elaborate. Let's look at your constituency. Can you elaborate more on why you particularly want to represent your constituency, the House of Representatives? What's that thing that drives you the most? That you want to that makes you want to really go to want you to have a seat in the House of Representatives to represent your people. So let us know, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kefi, for these investigative and probing questions. And we are up to the task. And we know the reason why we're answering this clarion call of our people to be able to give them a representative in the National Assembly. Yes, as I said earlier in my preamble introduction of my background, I do say that some of us who are critical stakeholders in this constituency, we have been making suggestions to our leaders who are there representing us, and they are not implemented. So that goes the need for us to answer the clarion call of our people to go there and serve them better. Yes, my ambition to serve the good people of Kokona, Kefi, and Karo Federal constituency is a clarion call of my people in the constituency. You agree with me that we cannot continue to do the same thing and expect different result. We need to take a step further. We need to be innovative. We need to be proactive. We need to be seen in action in implementing those resolutions of our constituents' demand. Remember, I'm a stakeholder in the constituency. I was a one-time Director General campaign of Group Captain Zaka, a governorship candidate in 2019 general election. So we know the peculiarity of problems of our constituents. And if these problems are not met, we need to answer the clarion call of our people to give them the representative they deserve for a robust, proactive, effectiveness representations in the House of Representatives. Like I do say earlier, if our suggestions, if our innovative ideas are not put into use by our members who are representing us, and our people are saying, go and represent us, we will answer that clarion call.
All right, let's quickly. Are you there, sir?
Of our society.
All
and
right.
that is one of the reasons why I'm answering the call to serve my people in the National Assembly. Thank you, sir.
All right, let's quickly look at you again. What values and principles do you stand for as a politician and as a cabinet member? I know you have your principles and your values, and that could also stand out for you as a candidate. So, what values and principles do you stand for as a politician and as a cabinet member that will make you stand out? What makes...
Sorry, Mr. Kevin, can you come again?
Yeah, I said, what values and principles do you stand for as a politician and as a cabinet member?
Thank you, Mr. Calvin, for this question. The values and the cabinet values, principles, are aligned with my values as a politician, are in line with my philosophy in politics. The principles of cabinet are in total agreement with what my constituents want. The principles and the values of politics and my participating in politics and that of cabinet are absolutely what the community demands, are absolutely what the society demands. So I will assure you that the values we need to uphold is to serve the people, is to serve the humanity, is to bring the development to the needed development area, is to make laws that address our peculiar challenges that we are facing over the decades without resolutions, without solutions. So the values I'm bringing into politics are the values I learned from my mentor, and also for the principle of democracy, for it to thrive, for us to have a better society, for us to have a society that is equitable for everyone to live and live a life fully of potential, is a principle incubating between me and cabinet. So I'm abiding by the value of politics, not the politics of godfatherism, of gangsterism. I want to say that a value that people cherish, a value that people see in me over the years in my participating in politics, and they are drawing me to go and represent them in the House of Representatives so that we can have practical and effective representation come 2027. The COPDEN, who is my a father, and the principles of COPDEN are in line with the community, with the society norms, and we shall strive to abide by that. That is one of the reasons that drive me into politics, sir.
Okay, let's look at your anybody who is going to run for office, like this is like a job. So who would like to know the kind of experiences you've had that will make you suitable for such jobs? So tell us, please, how has your past leadership experience prepared you for this role? Do you have any past leadership experience, any level of community engagement, anything that shows that at least you are prepared for this job quickly? Quickly, please, before I hand over to my co-uncle. Quickly, please.
Yes, thank you for this very question. Yes, in the past, as I said, I've been a leader in my community. In 2016 to 2019, I was a director of a social welfare humanitarian service, Mother Development Association, Jos Plateau State Branch, where I served the humanity, where I led the tendency and the principles of attending to people problems and solutions. And also, I also serve as an auditor in the reputable organization Federal College of Forestry, JOS Staff Welfare Association in 2019 to 2023, where we give our inputs and make bylaws and resolutions that effectively impact the lives of our staff. And because of my commitment and my kind of doggedness and person who is straightforward in dealing with issues, I was also elected in 2022 into the office of Director of Finance and Management in my community base here in Jos Plateau State, even small as I am, as to serve in that capacity, and I'm still serving up to now. Serving community and giving to the community need has been my passion, has been my driving force from the humble beginning of being orphans who go through the trains of life and see how humanity is supposed to raise here on earth. And so I'm so pleased to say that I have served in many capacities in the community service. I've rendered some help to individuals when I was in Abuja working as a hotelier. I influenced the job of two personalities, which today they are independent of their own. One of them is doing well, and one of them cumulating into getting a job with a Metador, an energy drink, through courtesy of my engagement and commitment to see how humanity are being assisted to achieve the goal. So that has been my service to community and humanity, sir.
All right, so I'm going to ask you one question. Once I ask you this question and you answer, my colleague, Mr. Duplessis, will pick it up from there and continue to the end of the program as I've been standing for him. Oh, so I want to ask you this, the question I love to ask. What are the biggest challenges facing your constituency, and how do you plan to address them? You are representing that constituency you mentioned about. So what are the biggest challenges over there? How do you think you are going to address this issue in your community?
Thank you very much. Yes, the biggest challenge in my constituency is the issue of healthcare, empowerment. I don't believe the idea of and electricity. I don't believe the idea of having primary healthcare system. Yes, the infrastructures are there, the facilities are there, but are they efficient? No, there are no efficiencies. So we see this as a big challenge to our constituents, and we are thinking of bringing new innovations and ideas to see how we can give a better service. Take, for instance, in my local government in particular, in Basa, Amba, who is far away from the local government headquarters, that you will spend 2 to about 5 hours before you get to the headquarters. Imagine if there's an emergency in regard to healthcare. How do we tackle this person? I mean, how do we tackle these issues? It can result to mortality. It can result to death. Maybe a pregnant woman is about to give birth, and the primary care is not equipped to the standard that is supposed to receive birth. And these are the things we are looking at. And these are our suggestions, our resolutions, our innovation, our ideas to our presence members who are there. Can we take a step further by demarcating some of these places, that we can have cottage hospitals who are well equipped with the best equipment standard that we need to tackle the health challenge in those rural areas? In my own thinking, in my own ambition to serve my people, if I'm elected, we shall identify a sport area and gray area where these facilities are lacking.
EMMANUEL.
Sir.
Mr. EMMANUEL.
All right, so over to you. Over to you, Mr. Due Process. Thank you.
Thank you for the interview thus far. Please, would like to streamline your responses to a maximum of 2 minutes so that we can make judicious use of the time. So the question is, how will you ensure that the voices and the concerns of your constituents are represented in the National Assembly?
Please, can you come again, Mr. Due Process?
How will you ensure that the voices, the concerns of your constituents, that's the people living in your constituency, your people, how will you ensure that their voices, their concern, their challenges are well represented at the National Assembly?
Thank you, Mr. Due Process, for this probing and investigating question. Yes, to ensure that the voice of my people and the concern are well represented in the National Assembly is for me to take them into motions and bills and sponsor in the National Assembly a constant contact with my representative to receive the concern, which is the driving force and which is the reason why I'm in the National Assembly, to make them into laws, lobby my colleagues to see the need where we can move the bill into the final stage and bring them into implementation. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Smart. What specific policies or bills do you intend to propose that will directly benefit your constituents?
Thank you very much. I'm already having 2 that I'm also already working on. I'm thinking that turning out graduates year in, year out, which is not solving a problem, we should not continue to tow that same path. I intend to sponsor a bill where we have Federal University of Technology and Craftsmanship, purely on craftsmanship. From the technical school, we begin to draw our students, where they will begin to produce things from their 100 level that can be usable in our community and in our economy. So these are one of the bills that I'm working on. And I also look at the loopholes in the aspect of NGOs in Nigeria, where spring of NGO will come up and go around and collect people data and money, years in years, and nothing will come up. I'm thinking driving a bill that will tackle that aspect of NGO and civil society in Nigeria. A bill to establish a NGO commission. This is what they asked me. A bill to establish an NGO commission that will regulate the activities of the NGO in Nigeria and monitor their activities without allowing our people to be agile by the hoodlums in the guise of NGO. So these are some of the bills already in my pipeline, and other ones are still on the streamline.
Yes, that's good to know that you already have something doing. in that regard. How will you attract government projects and investments to your constituency?
You said, sorry.
How will you attract government projects and investments to your constituency?
Thank you. One thing about National Assembly and the House of Reps is all about lobbying. It's all about collaborations with your colleagues. It's all about understanding. And this we shall explore them to the later. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you. What strategies do you have for tackling unemployment, poverty, and youth restiveness in your constituency?
Thank you, sir. Just as I said, we cannot continue to do the same thing in the names of skill acquisitions, and we are not taking step further to make it realistic. So in my own thinking, we shall identify the consumable skill acquisition training, train our people, and take a step further by introducing cottage industry within these very constituents we have, even though it is 1 or 2, and then bring in PPP, public partnership, with the constituents' money. Some of us will be stakeholders, shareholders. Public, private will be shareholders. Where these products will go into the market and have his own way of imparting life. By so doing, we are reducing the employment. You agree with me? There are people who are out there that cannot take government job because of their age factor. If we have this kind of cottage industry within our constituency, producing the necessary requirement product that everybody needs to use it at home in a daily basis, we shall tackle the employment issue, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll be moving to your commitment to COPDEM ideals and democratic principles. As a member of COPDEM, how do you plan to uphold and promote democratic principles that COPDEM stands for?
Yes. I've said it before when Mr. Kelvin asked me, and I'll repeat again. The passion for me to go into politics and to represent my people is the answer to clarion call by my community. And it is that they see in me the values of politics, my stand on issues without compromise, no matter the intimidations, have been the driving force. And the COPDEM principles and the values of democracy are aligned with my philosophy in politics. So I don't believe there is any gray area, and we shall implement it to the letter for the satisfaction and the progress of the country at large. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. What steps will you take to ensure transparency and accountability in your political activities and engagements?
In fact, our vision is we intend to build a vibrant, inclusive, and prosperous constituency where every citizen have access to opportunity, quality service, and better life for all. Our driving force is that anchor on the principle of COPDEM and democracy. And I believe that if we should go by that, we will achieve the goal of building a new Nigeria. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. How will you address issues of electoral malpractice and ensure free, fair, and credible elections in your constituency?
We will continue to engage our constituents, electorates, and stakeholders. We will continue to train and emphasize and de-escalate the issue of election rigging, where has been the principle and been the reason why we are going into politics. We want to win the election on the clean mandate, and we'll continue to preach where these unnecessary factors of election manipulations are set aside. We'll continue to train our agents from the pooling unit to the world levels on the need to uphold the tenets of principle of democracy and COPDEM at large. Thank you, sir.
It's okay. In the face of political pressures, which is very much cumbersome these days, how will you remain committed to ethical leadership and good governance?
Thank you, Mr. Due Process. In fact, this has been the reason why I have been calling to serve, even in my own small capacity. You cannot compromise what I know is best. You cannot compromise what I know is right. One, I stand on it. I have held so many community offices, not because I am bigger than other key players in that community, because it's the kind of persons I am that you cannot influence, you cannot change when it is on the right path. So we shall uphold that, and we will stand our ground to the later to make sure that the right thing is done at the right time. Thank you, sir. I will not bow to any political pressure to jeopardize the credibility of the democracy. I would rather stand on the right path to the later without compromise, sir. Hello? I think there's a network problem. Hello?
Please
Hello?
go ahead. Mr. President, are you not there?
Yeah, I said.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I say we will hold the principle of democracy. We will not bow down to any pressure from any angle. And I've started example of my leadership role in the community down to where I'm working. That I'm the kind of person you cannot compromise. I'm not the kind of person you cannot influence. I'm not the kind of person you just come and induce me in anything to do your bidding. If I stand on the right, I stand on the right. If it is wrong, I kick against it. And that has been my principle. And that has been the integrity and the llama I built for myself. And I want to maintain it to the later. So we shall uphold the principle of democracy. We will not bow down to any pressure, no matter how or where it's coming from. We shall stand to the end to see that we achieve our goal of better Nigeria. And wow, I seem to be network connection unstable.
All right, Mr. Gilson, let me go forward and ask you this particular question. How will you attract government projects and invest? Okay, let me go to this. Apart from the fact that you are going to be a House of Rep member, you are supposed to be representing your community. I don't know whether I've answered this. Would like to know how you are going to make sure that the voices and concerns of your constituents are represented in their National Assembly. Then, what specific policies or bills do you intend to propose that will directly benefit your constituency? What specific policies or bills, what particular bill do you intend to propose in the National Assembly that is going to benefit your community? Go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you. I think I've answered this question when Mr. Due Process asked me, and I'll repeat again. In the aspect of attracting projects to my constituents, I said in the National Assembly is all about sponsored bills and motion that are benefiting to my community, Kokona, Kefe, and Karo Federal constituency, with colleagues to pass impactful legislation. Of course, collaborative governance is one of the key aspects to achieve this drive. If we are collaborating, if we are working in synergy with my colleagues in the National Assembly, of course, attracting a government project will be achieved. You know, like I said, I have two bills already that I'm developing. A bill to establish a Federal University of Technology and Craftsmanship, and our students will purely be sourced from the technical schools, where they learn technicals from the school to the university level, where they will begin to produce things that will affect the economy and grow our society. I'm also working on a bill to have a national commission of NGO and civil society organization where this aspect of the economy will be regulated. We will not continue to allow individuals to come in the name of a grant and collecting money from here and there, years in, years out. And our people who are struggling to survive are paid this money within their nose, and some even giving up their life because they couldn't pay the loans they took. So I'm working on these two bills as it stands now, sir.
All right, thank you. Let me quickly go to a particular question that I don't know if I'm just standing in for my second, and it's something that I would definitely need to ask. In the face of political pressure, like we see most people do, or out of greed, we see a lot of politicians just move from one party to another, not that they are thinking of their community or their people, but for their personal gains. In face of political pressure, how will you remain committed to ethical leadership and good governance? Will you not be will you not be like the likes who all of a sudden suddenly just decamp from their party to another party? Please let's hear on that, please.
Thank you very much. Some of us have built integrity for ourselves, and this integrity is speaking for us. Where we are being called by our constituents to run for the House of Reps. The principle of democracy and serving people will be my hallmark and will be my marble on the wall. Despite the political pressure, from which angle it may be coming from, will not determine to stand on the truth. The issue of decamping is never in my dictionary and is never in my dictionary. I don't believe that we can have a better Nigeria if we jump from one party to another just because we want to compromise the standard. I will not be part of that bandwagon. I will stand on my principle from the one to the end. I will never leave my party to any other party. I believe in the philosophy of my party. I believe in the philosophy of my modern organization, COPDEN. And I believe these principles and principle of democracy align with my philosophy. So I will hold it to the letter. Thank you, sir.
All right. Let's really look at your strategy. Strategy going into this. And what is your campaign strategy? How do you plan to engage voters at the grassroots level? And how do you plan to mobilize and unite COPDEN members in your constituency for a stronger electoral victory? In other words, you also need to tell us how strong is your relationship with COPDEN itself. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. The strategy to win election is already on ground. Remember, I've told you, if you have run or you have worked with somebody who ran election before. Hello, sir. Hello?
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
So my strategies and philosophy to win this election or that will cause us to victory. If you have worked with someone or you have contested election, you must have learned in the process. And if you have been in the field, you will learn so many things that you need to adjust. So we are engaging already with our people in the grassroots. We are talking and we are designing a program that maybe we shall go into our community, design a program word to word per each local government, where we can discuss with the critical stakeholders and engage them why the need for us to have this kind of people at the national level. And then my relationship with the COPDEN at the state level is cordial. In fact, you can inquire from the state chairman of COPDEN and how I help in tackle some of the structure across the 13 local government by giving people that are loyal and we know will cause us to victory. The strategy to win the election is by engaging with the electorate, is by discussing with them, is by telling them why we should do it this way than the other way, and why we should not do it the same way and expect the same result. And it's yielding fruit and using fruitful results, sir. Thank you.
All right. I don't know if due process is here. Due process, you are back. Please, can you continue and conclude this interview? Mr. Due processor.
All right. Thank you.
Please go ahead, please.
Mr. Emmanuel, thanks for
Yes.
your interview so far. The next on the list is we want to know how you'll be able to address issue of electoral malpractice. Okay, you've already answered that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you plan to mobilize and unite COPDEM members in your constituency for a strong electoral victory?
The same pattern that we adopt to educate our people from the polling unit to the ward level, to the local government level, and down to the collection center at the center of collection of the 3 local government. It's the same pattern and it's the same training strategies we're going to give our COPDEM at the polling, ward, and local government level to educate them how they can de-escalate the issue of pressure. They should not bow down to any pressure. And in the event of such, the appropriate authority should be aware. And so we are going to engage our COPDEM member from the ward level, from the polling unit, ward, and local government level, on the need for us to stand on the philosophy of tenet of democracy and the principle of the COPDEM. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Will you be open to forming alliances with other political parties or groups to achieve your goals?
Of course, in politics, there is always a window for alliance for other weak parties who feel they may not make the impact you are creating. And they feel if they want to come in solidarity of your mandate and agree to the principles of democracy and the principle of COPDEM, I think it will be a plus to us. But we shall review and scrutinize their actions. We will not sell our mandate, we will not sell our popularity to any high bidder. Let me narrate, if not because of time, I'll tell you what happened in the last election, where our candidate in ADC was costing to victory already. But because of this same question you asked me, he collected money from the incumbent rest member, 30 million, and sold out his job. He will have won the election. So if we're talking about structure in my constituency about ADC, it's there already. And it's for us now to win their heart, and we are working hard on that, to tell them that we are different people from different organizations and from different philosophy and aspect of politics. We will not sell them at the midway. And so, alliance with the other political party, as you asked me, if it aligns with the COPDEM principle, why not? Actually, in every politics, you strive to win, and you strive to strike the balance by accommodating other interested parties who are aligned with your philosophy. Thank you, sir.
That's good. How do you plan to fund your campaign? And will you ensure financial transparency in your campaign activities?
In fact, in my manifestos, this is there already. The same way we want to execute the constituent project is the same way we want to manage the campaign funds. Of course, the campaign modalities are there already. You agree with me that no person will want to go out for election without having sources of his campaign. And of course, in the course, you also have people who want to help, put a helping hands to you, and you will not reject that because you want to achieve result. So we'll be transparent, just like I said, like it is in my manifestos, where a constituency project management committee will be set up. It's the same thing that the campaign management team will be set up. I will only be in approval or signature to anything they do with due diligence and screening. With due diligence and screening. So, coupled with my the funding opportunities are there, the funding mechanisms are there. The other interesting partners who are in this project are also in the standby. Although we're in the early stage of mobilizing, it's only when we reach that aspect of campaign we begin to see things unfold. And then, given that my mother organization, COPDEN, is also in the backing, I think it will be a robust means for us to campaign in a transparent and accountable manner, where everybody will see the need for us to be in the National Assembly, because we are coming from a credible organizations, we are coming from a credible source, we are coming from a source that want to change Nigeria for the better of all, and we should ensure that we keep that to the end. Thank you, sir.
All right, on a final note, if elected, what legacy will you hope to leave behind after your tenure as a member of the House of Representatives?
Thank you, Mr. Due Process. As the name implies, your question is really a due process question. Thank you, Mr. Due Process.
Thank you.
For us to have a legacy or leave a legacy behind that will be remembered on, if we're a student of history, we'll be reading history about other people's. And why are we reading those history? It's because of their contribution to the humanity. It's because of their contribution to the society. It's because of their commitment to see the growth and the development of the society that we're reading about them. So if really we are saying we are a different set of people coming on board to change the Nigeria of our dream, take for example, as I said, we shall establish cottage industry in our constituency. Going by this philosophy, going by this aspiration, they are legacy project already, a life one in that matter. If we end up having a company or industry that produce detergent, soap, the consumable things that we need every day in our house, no matter the market saturation, it will still sell. And we're engaging people who are working there. This is a laudable legacy we're leaving behind. Even with the... Thank you, sir.
Thank you for that responses you have given so far. We thank you for making our time to honor our invitation, the political hour of the DDM, and we look forward to having another conversation in the nearest future. We wish you good luck in your aspiration towards the House of Representatives, and wish you well. Thank you for coming, and thank you, viewers, for creating time to be part of the show. We'll see you same time tomorrow for another session of Political Hour, where we'll be engaging our political aspirants through COPDEN and ADC. So thank you for coming and have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much for having me, sir. It's a privilege, and I appreciate that.